Hello, everyone. Chad Owen, the Annuity Sales Coach, and welcome to this week's podcast. Today, I'm going to be sipping from my, what is this, a cappuccino or?
It's kind of like a latte, yeah.
There's a, what did they work? A breve. I think Leilani said it's like a breve.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We just bought this espresso machine. It's not espresso machine.
Yeah, it is an S.
A while ago, and boy, we are getting our fill. I'll tell you that. We probably
work's never been done faster.
$1,000 in coffee, but the productivity has increased a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. What are we talking about today? As I sip my coffee.
Yes. Well, we are going to talk about solving.
You know what? I'm going to interrupt you.
Okay.
I was just looking at pictures of Spain.
Yes.
In the coffee shops next to this built-in.
It's like built into the rock face.
Rock. So we are broadcasting from Spain right now. There will be a day we'll be able to do that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
So
I'm sure. We're going to talk about solving the problem, and right now the problem is that we're not in Spain, but we should be. So let's fix that problem. No, I'm kidding.
But we are. Until the day where we can actually start to travel internationally again.
I know it's going to be fun, Jeff.
Man. We're going. We got our Hawaii trip coming up to the Big Island.
Yep.
I'm actually going to be gone for 3 weeks, and that's part of it. I mean, I take trips about every month to month and a half, and I'll tell you what, I start to feel it. I use the analogy that I'm kind of like a drag race car, where I literally sprint down and give it my all. I get to the end, they got to tow me in, they got to rebuild my engine again. That's what vacations do to me. That's my time away.
Your quote about how being a public success and a private failure is still a failure. You know, you could go out and you can sell $25, $30, $35 million in annuity premium a year. If you don't take time to spend that with your wife and your family, there's no point.
Hanging
What's
out with my wife and my family.
Yeah.
Well, most of my family.
Yeah, most of us.
I like it.
He especially likes when I'm around.
I like the one that you're attached to. You know, you on the other hand, you just
take me or leave me.
You're
whatever.
my penance.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to solve the problem today, Chad. And what I want to talk about is this whole idea of actually solution selling, not product pushing. We talk about that a lot, but the whole essence of solution selling is actually solving the problem, having a solution to the problem. I mean, realistically, if you think about it practically, clients aren't reaching out so that they can make a new friend, you know, an agent friend. They're reaching out because they have some type of question, some type of concern.
There's always a reason.
There's always a reason. So
I have people that say that. They'll say, well, I'm happy where I'm at. Then why'd you reach out to me?
Yeah, why'd you?
I mean, it doesn't make sense. Why would you ever reach out to me if you're totally happy with where you are? It doesn't make sense.
Absolutely.
So they obviously have a problem. So we need to find the solution.
Yeah. Pinpoint the problem, find the solution. Now, one of the terms that we throw around sometimes is this idea of marketing organizations with their agents, or agents doing this with their business, kind of throwing it all to the wall and see what sticks.
God, I say that all the time.
Oh, absolutely, because it happens all the time. I mean, it's a frequent thing.
I have marketing, as you know, when you write 20, 25, 26, 27 million a year, you got marketing organizations all the time reaching out to you. And I've told some of these people for the past 10 years, I'm not moving. Why? I'm not going to take the organization that helped me get to where I am and move away from that. Now, we've created our own as well, but that's because I literally have a different style of training agents because I'm still in the field. I still run appointments. And that's something you just do not find anymore. You don't find principals out running appointments. And how long will I do that? I don't know. It could be 10 years. It could be 20 years. It could be 2 years. But I can tell you there's going to have to be something dramatic before I'd ever stop running appointments. And honestly, it doesn't have a lot to do with the actual selling of annuities.
Right.
I have 3 days a week, Tuesday through Thursday, that I get to have my drive time, my quiet time, my podcast time, my worship music time, the Bible time, all just driving. So, I mean, that's very valuable to me.
Very valuable to me.
That's a problem is I don't have enough alone time, so then I'm driving and I do have alone time. Now, the benefit of that is I'm selling crazy amount of annuities.
It's true.
So
that's very true.
What are we solving today?
Well, the whole essence of throw it all to the wall and see what sticks. How does actually problem solving affect what sticks?
I guess I could relate that to a fact finder. I mean, you have a whole bunch of questions you're throwing out there. Which one sticks? What is important to them? I mean, that's a whole thing with a fact finder.
Right.
What sticks to them?
Right.
What's important to them? What do you need to address? What do you need to take away? So let's use an example. So what's sticking is my money's in market volatility right now. I'm at risk. I have no idea how much income I can pull out because there's no guarantees whatsoever. So what's sticking to them is the concern about the uncertainty.
Right.
So what do I need to take away from them?
The concern, the uncertainty. You need to provide certainty.
Correct. So I'm finding a solution to their problem.
Yeah.
And so if they have a concern of market volatility, they have a concern about outliving their income, my solution to their problem is finding a product that doesn't have that built into it.
You're nailing it. It's almost like you're taking this straight from my notes, because that's literally what I had down, was this idea that the fact finder, or better yet, the fact finders, because use a mini fact finder on the phone, and then you go into the appointment, use a full fact finder. It all is getting you information, but it's all showing you what the problem is.
Which is interesting because, you've had your office by me for what? How long have you been working with me?
I lose track.
Therapy keeps telling me
forget
to
what
forget
year.
about it.
No, literally, it's like 2 years. It's I forget what year I started, but
every time they say don't live in the past, I'm like, yeah, but he's right next to me all the time,
constantly
now,
haunting.
I think it's been about 2 years, hasn't it? Yeah,
pretty close.
And so you're right next to me. It's funny because we don't talk about what we're going over in these podcasts. He just comes up with the material, asks the questions, but that shows what he's picked up off of me. That is, if he's newer to the industry, and when I say newer, 2 years, he still picks up that level of this is what's important. I can tell you, it's because I say it all the time.
You do.
It's very robotic. Every phone call is the same thing from the standpoint of finding a problem, finding a solution. They had to reach out to me for a reason.
Right.
What I do find odd, though, is when I pay $350 for a lead and I call them within, let's say, an hour, and I've already found a solution to that problem, or I already got it taken care of. What?
Yeah. How do you handle that?
So if somebody does that, I say, so you must have got this product with this bonus, with this guarantee.
Throw out what you kind of...
Whatever the best is at the time. And, no, I didn't get that. Oh, okay. Well, what is that? Well, let me share with you what that is. So, it's always, what did they get? Oh, so you obviously don't have any more market volatility. No, I do. Okay, but I thought you wanted to protect your money. Well, I do. Then why'd you pick a product that doesn't provide what you wanted it to do?
Right.
Huh.
Oh, yeah.
It is what sticks. You got to find out what sticks to them, what's important to them. And it's kind of interesting because it should have a double stickiness. In other words, it sticks to them, so it sticks to you, because what sticks to them sticks to you if you get close enough.
That's true.
How do you tell when you get close enough? Is when it sticks to you. In other words, what's their problem now becomes your problem, and your job is to find the solution.
That's right. Yep. That's right. Well, and I love it. Fact Finder is how you figure out what the problem is. The Fact Finder will tell you what is the problem, but then you use your expertise and a little bit of case design, and you figure out, how am I going to solve this problem? And you go into it and you present how that problem is going to be solved. Here's what I love about problem solving. I want to think about it from a client standpoint. Client reaches out. Maybe they have a very specific thing that they're reaching out for information about. Maybe they've heard something from a friend and they're reaching out kind of arbitrarily, don't know a whole lot. Maybe they're sick and tired of volatility, risk, whatever. They reach out. If that client then gets a hold of an agent, or an agent gets a hold of them, and the agent doesn't do their due diligence to figure out, where's this client at mentally? Where's this client at in their retirement situation? Actually do the agent's due diligence to see, where is this client at? What is the problem? What's the client going to be thinking? They just want to sell.
Yeah.
They just want to sell.
Well, would you ever go fishing without a fishing rod?
No.
Would you ever go hunting without a gun? Well, yeah, possibly. I mean, you could use a spear, you could use a knife, you could use a bow and arrow.
Without some type of
but
means
you brought a means.
Right.
So it's not that we're trying to hunt or fish, but we are always fishing.
Sure.
We're trying to find out I always call it, what's the hook? In other words, what's their hook? What will catch them from the standpoint of, what catches them by what you're talking about. And if it catches their interest, okay, so they've got to be concerned about that.
Right.
And that's, once again, people will call it bait, but I hate using sales language. I mean, I've been doing sales since I was 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So that was back when I had to sell my tools to cavemen back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, it's always been finding, even when I used to be in the jewelry business.
Mm-hmm.
So the jewelry business I loved because it was anytime you sell a piece of jewelry, it's for a happy occasion. So what am I trying to do? What's the happy occasion about? What's your budget? What are you willing to spend? And then we would find the thing that suited that person's desires. In other words, this is what they like. This is what they want. And then they look at it and go, man, this is pretty. Well, now we're just selling financial jewelry.
Right.
Which one has the best look for them? Which one do they like the most? And we're just fishing for what's important to them. That's all it comes into. It's not fishing for the sale. It's not. It's what's important to them. That's it. It's that simple.
Well, the way I think about selling in general, and you know, this may or may not be the reality for some people, but when I think about the essence of sales, or I think about a salesman, I'm thinking about somebody who...
Actually, we have to say salesperson now.
Salesperson, yes. Well, and salesman used to mean either, but...
It did. Just like a waiter used to be a waitress, or a stewardess used to be a stewardess. I don't know, I guess.
Well, anyways,
Yeah.
Salesperson, whatever that may be, I think about somebody that is in front of somebody else that has some level of interest, but they're really just trying to put them in what they want to put them in.
That's what
so
you
I'm trying
would
to
hope a
convince
salesperson looks like.
Right. I'm trying to convince you that this is what you need. But what we're talking about here is acknowledging what a client is saying they need and then figuring out what best fits that need.
Well, I think about this. It's crazy because if you think of salesperson, if you just say that, it's already got a negative
Oh,
intent.
absolutely.
And so that's why I hate it when I'll tell a client, well, you're just trying to sell me this. No, I could give a rip. You buy this or don't buy this. It doesn't change my retirement at all.
Right.
It's your decision. This is not my money. It's your money. What you decide here affects your retirement way more than it affects mine. I'm not trying to sell you anything. You gave me a problem. I'm telling you the solution.
Right.
You decide. And I'll go straight into that because then they go, oh, I didn't mean it that way. No, you did initially till you realize I don't care if I get this deal or not.
Right.
And I genuinely don't. If someone wants to be a challenge for a client, I don't care if I'm going to get a $3 million annuity. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to help a challenging client. If they're not going to appreciate what I can do and how I can bring value to their retirement, then that's okay. Find someone that will do that. Sure. That's where you get a lot of these brokers and annuity people just stumbling, trying to do everything. Yes, master. Yes, master. Yes, master. I'll do whatever you want me to do. No. Here's the problem. Here's the solution I have. Do you want it? I'm not trying to sell you anything. You know, and you could technically, I mean, I don't even know what the definition of sale is other than providing. I can tell you. Yeah, let's actually, that's kind of curious. What is
benefits of having a computer, right?
Let's try that. What does sale mean?
The exchange of a commodity for money, the action of selling something. Don't you love when they use the word in the definition?
There's a good
A sale is when you sell something. Of course it is. So the exchange of a commodity for money.
Okay, what is the second one?
It's a period during which a retailer sells a good. Yeah,
like my wife is really good at finding sales. Yeah, definitely. Right. So, I mean, it's funny because there it just goes to show you the action of a person has created a definition that has some sort of negative condensation to it. Negative
connotation.
Condensation.
That's what's on the outside of a Coca-Cola can.
Oh, man, it's time for a break. It really is. I try, you know what? It's funny because I'll run appointments all day, and yeah, that definitely will wear me out. I do podcasts
training,
or I do webinars and training. It kicks my tail.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. Because there's so much writing on this. So if I'm meeting with a client, I'm generally going to affect that client. And yes, I take a lot of weight to that. But if I say the wrong thing to an agent,
and they go
that can affect thousands of clients.
Right.
So
I do that by hundreds of agents.
Oh, I do. I do bear that weight because everything I say, I check it and recheck it, and I'm constantly. If you've ever met me in person, you know I need to have filters. You know, and my filters as I'm doing something on the spot where I don't know what we're talking about, my filter is just kicking in like crazy. No, don't say that. Don't say it. Well, So that's part of the struggle, really.
It's good though. Solution selling, and I really, man, the products, a lot of times, yes, objections will arise, but it is the solution
Well, I don't
to
know,
the
though.
problem.
If you go back to our previous
It's true.
podcast, we
talk
about
how to
objections,
overcome objections before they arise.
Correct.
But the reality is, I hate the term a product sells itself, because you've got to have somebody to actually be the intermediary. You've got to have somebody to explain it. You've got to have somebody that can actually articulate what it does and how it benefits the client, how it accomplishes the solution.
Yeah.
But if you do those things, you don't need to be a salesman or a
No, you
saleswoman.
don't.
It's their money,
Unless
exactly
you use
like
the
you
true
say.
definition of just
Well, it's a
exchanging.
chain.
It's just an exchange.
That's true.
You don't have to convince someone to do that. I mean, if I have someone who's hungry, I don't have to sell them food.
Right.
They want the food. If we have someone that's concerned about market volatility, we don't have to sell them anything. They want to eat. They want the product that will help them.
Absolutely.
So if we look at it that way, and that's why if I have somebody who's stuffed and they want to eat all this sugar-coated stuff, which is the brokers talking, well, they're not going to be that hungry, and they're probably going to have an upset stomach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, if you sell something that's all sugar-coated, clients are going to naturally get this tendency to feel sick to their stomach, and they know that this sugar rush is going to wear off.
Right.
And that's a high market. We are in a market high right now, and it's a sugar rush, and it will eventually wear off. I assure you.
Absolutely.
Boy, that's a great analogy.
it is a great
It just
analogy.
comes out of,
That's why we try and keep it organic and real.
Yes, exactly.
And
that's the thing I don't like. You know, you see a lot of podcasts; they're absolutely staged, and the questions are pre-rehearsed. And hi, Bob, would you like to buy an annuity today? Oh, well, gee, I would love to. It's like, come on,
that never happens.
It never happens. And so I want to keep it as real as possible.
Absolutely. I do want to encourage agents real quick. If your closing ratio is poor, if you're noticing that a lot of policies are being canceled during the free look period, I really encourage you, consider, are you solving a problem?
No.
Because realistically, if the problem is solved, you're not going to run into those types of situations.
So if you solved what their problem is and you found a solution, but a lot of times the problem is who's helping them with their current financials.
Right.
And so when you look at that, you know, part of that solution sometimes is removing that risk person, that gambler, that bookie.
Sure.
You know, and like I said, I don't mean to give people a hard time if you also sell variable products, because I do like variable people if they realize the number one thing is making sure they're safe first in certain areas.
Right.
Then you can gamble other money. But if you got, I know people that are registered investment advisors. You know, they take really good care of making sure the immediate need of the income and the safety is taken care of. But then if the market does fall, they're still the hero because they had the main thing taken care of, and they can risk other things.
Absolutely.
Because they had everything taken care of initially.
And then if the market does awesome, they're a hero 2 times.
Exactly. And then when it falls, they still have the original money that's protected.
That's exactly right.
Yep.
I love it.
Is that it?
Well, I'll add one more thing.
You add one more thing.
We talk about if your closing ratio is poor, you know, consider, are you solving a problem? We talk about if you're seeing a lot of free looked policies, examine whether or not you're solving a problem. Here's another one that I think gets overlooked a lot of times. If you're coming up against like an absurd amount of objections, some clients will throw out objections. Yes, that's normal. But if you feel like it's this constant thing you have to bulldoze through, you also need to consider, am I finding a solution to the problem? Because more than likely, that's the client trying to hint at the fact that, hey, I don't want to do this with you, or I don't want to do it with what you've figured out here, but they're being passive aggressive about it. Right. So then just go back and, am I solving the problem? Am I finding the issue and then finding the solution? And if you do those 2 things, you'll be sitting much more.
Well, you can even use that with phone calls, right? I get a lot of leads, but I don't get a lot of appointments. Or I get a lot of appointments, but I don't get a lot of sales. You're missing something somewhere.
Right.
You know, well, this lead system doesn't work. No, it's the same lead system I use, so it has to be you, because I'm getting them closing, and I get the same things everybody else does. I mean, internet leads, scrubbed internet leads, all different sources. So obviously something isn't quite going right.
Right.
So find a solution to the problem.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Every time.
Okay. Well, I hope this helps you guys. You have a great day and happy selling.